Physical quantities, we have two types. One is the scalar quantity and other one is the vector quantity. Scalar quantity is what? It is a quantity which has only the magnitude but no direction. Examples, you can take time, speed, mass, and so on. Coming to the vector quantity, vector has both magnitude as well as direction. Example is momentum, acceleration, force, etc. Other basic examples for the vector. So physical quantities are of two types. One is the scalar and one is a vector. Scalar quantity is one which has only the magnitude but no direction. So you can take examples like speed, time, and so on. Vector is one which has both magnitude as well as direction. So example for vector is acceleration, momentum, and so on. Next, coming to the types of vectors, we have so many types of vectors are there. In that, we'll just briefly discuss about the 5 types. That is, first one is a zero vector. The zero vector, the name itself tells the magnitude should be 0. Unit vector is one whose magnitude is always unity or 1. Whereas the remaining 3 vectors, that is like vector, unlike vector, negative of vector, will be explained based on the magnitude and direction by considering 2 vectors. For example, if you have A and B are the 2 vectors, whether the magnitude are equal or the direction is same. So based like that, you can classify the remaining 3 vectors, that is like, unlike, and negative vector. So in the types of vectors, there are so many, but right now we can learn only the 5 types. That is enough for the syllabus part or the concept wise is enough. So zero vector is what? It's a vector whose magnitude is always 0. Unit vector is one whose magnitude is always said to be unity or it is equal to 1. Like, unlike, and negative vectors are those who, based on the magnitude and direction, you can classify them. Next is coming to the vector addition. So we have 3 laws, all of you should know: commutative, associative law, and distributive law. This vector addition or the multiplication will satisfy commutative and associative law, but the distributive law is not satisfied by the vectors here. So a vector will not satisfy the distributive property, only the commutative and associative properties will be satisfied by the vector addition and multiplication here. And next, coming to the representation of vector. So how do we represent a vector? See, vector can be represented by using a straight line with an arrow at its final point or end point. So what does this indicate? The length of the line will give you the magnitude and arrow mark will give in which direction it is moving. So like this, any general vector can be represented by using a straight line with an arrow at its end point. And here you have 2 types of vectors. Normal vectors are represented using capital, that is capital letter with the arrow mark on the top, whereas unit vectors are represented by small letters with the cap on it. So like this, you can distinguish which is unit vector and which is the normal vectors here. Understood? So the vector representation, how we can do? You can use a straight line with an arrow at its endpoint. The arrow will give you the direction and the length of the line will give you the magnitude part. So in this, you have unit vector as well as normal vector. Unit vector, you need to use a small letter with a cap on it. Normal vector is represented always using capital letters with the arrow on it. Next, coming to the addition of vectors. So addition of vector means you can add n number of vectors. For example, if you want to add 2 vectors, so you can represent the addition of 2 vectors either by using the triangle figure or by using the parallelogram figure. So how do we write using the triangle. See in the figure it is shown, vector A, vector B is represented along two adjacent sides of the triangle, while the third side will give you the resultant, that is R, which is equal to A plus B. So law of triangle you can use, or use the triangle figure to represent addition of two vectors. How do you represent? A and B are the two adjacent sides of the triangle. The third side will give you the resultant, which is A plus B. In the same way, you can use parallelogram to represent the addition of vectors. Here also, adjacent sides of the parallelogram will be A and B, and diagonal will give you the resultant, which is A plus B. So like this, addition of vectors can be represented using either law of, law of triangle or law of parallelogram. Next, coming to the subtraction of vectors. Subtraction can be done using law of parallelogram. So we need to subtract A minus B. So how do you draw here? First we'll write A and B along two adjacent sides. If you want minus B, that will be exactly opposite to the plus B vector. In the reverse direction if you take, you will get minus B. Once you get minus B, with A and minus B, you complete the parallelogram by drawing parallel lines. And if you join the diagonal, that will give you the resultant, which is A minus B. So like this subtraction of vectors, you can represent using law of parallelogram. Understood? So how do you write? First you write the positive vector along positive y, for example, and along negative y will give you minus b vector. And for A and minus B, you complete a parallelogram, and diagonal will give you the resultant, which is A minus B. So this is about what? So addition of vectors and multiplication of vectors will satisfy only associative and commutative law, whereas it does not satisfy the distributive first thing. And then vectors can be represented, that is addition can be represented using law of triangle as well as law of parallelogram, and subtraction you can represent using law of parallelogram. And now next part is we need to discuss what is dot product of two vectors, or what is dot product of a vector. So dot product of two vectors is defined as A dot B is equal to magnitude of the first vector, magnitude of the second to theta. So A dot B is given by magnitude A, magnitude B into cos theta. So from this, if you want cos theta, you need to cross multiply, you will get cos theta value. Understood? So A dot B is defined as what? It is magnitude of A, magnitude of B into cos theta. Cos theta is equal to A dot B by magnitude A into magnitude B. See, all of you should learn each and everything because you have objectives. In objectives, we can ask all these things. For example, what is A dot B? Or how do you find cos theta from the dot product of two vectors? So all these things are used for MCQs, and also while deriving the derivations or explaining the concepts, all these are needed. So please listen. Now, if you consider dot product of two vectors is defined like this, and that is called, dot product is called a scalar product. So we need to prove how it is called a scalar product. Before that, we are going to construct a table here. So this table is the unit vectors in Cartesian coordinate system. What is the relation of this dot product of unit vectors in Cartesian coordinate system? For example, I've written the table here, row wise and column wise. You take unit vectors ax, ay, az, and here also in the column wise you take ax, ay, az. So what you need to find, what is ax dot ax first, for example. According to the definition, it is what? Magnitude of first, magnitude of second into cos theta. So if both the vectors are in the same direction, angle will be 0. So it you should take theta as 0 here. So cos 0 it will become. So cos 0 is 1 and magnitude of unit vectors is 1. So overall value will result in 1 here. So ax dot ax is always equal to 1. Next, if you take ax dot ay, it is magnitude of first, magnitude of second. The angle between x and y is 90, so we should write cos 90. So cos 90 is always 0, so this dot product will result in 0. So what you observe here, in the dot product of the unit vectors, if it is same direction, it is always equal to 1. Therefore, in this table, all the diagonal values will become 1, and if it is different direction, it is always equal to 0. So you should remember this table. Dot product of unit vectors in Cartesian coordinate system is same direction dot products will be 1. If it is different direction, it is always equal to 0. Next, coming to the dot product of two vectors is a scalar product we need to prove. So in order to prove that, we consider vector A in Cartesian form as well as B in Cartesian form. That is, since you are writing in 3D form, A and B is written along all the three axes X, Y, and Z. All of you know how to write A in Cartesian and B in Cartesian. You write both. Then you consider LHS, that is A dot B. A value substitute, dot you retain as it is, and B value substitute. And if you remove the brackets, how do you remove? While removing the brackets, you should know, first always you should write AX, BX magnitude part should be written, and then AX dot AX should be written. So always the dot is for the vector part and magnitude will not have the dot. So while expanding or removing the brackets, you need to write first part AX, BX, AX dot AX plus AX by AX dot AY and so on. So if you expand this brackets or remove the brackets, you'll get totally 9 terms are there. So in these 9 terms, you have constructed the table above. You can substitute those values. So what you have calculated above, AX dot AX is 1, so replace it by 1. AX dot AY, what it is 0, so replace it by 0. So like that, if you substitute all the 9 values in the table in this equation, A dot B will result in AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. So what we are finally finding here, A dot B, after calculating its dot product, we don't have any vectors here. So this concludes that dot product of two vectors is always a scalar product. Understood? And another thing is, we have arrived another formula for this dot product of two vectors. So dot product you can represent like this also. It is AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. So this thing you should know about the dot products in detail, that is related to Cartesian form. So what you have revised here, A dot B is magnitude A, magnitude B cos theta, and how to construct the dot product of the unit vectors in Cartesian coordinate system. And dot product always results in a scalar product. Understood? So finally, A dot B we will arrive with other formula, that is AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. So this is about the dot product concept. Now let us explain the cross product concept here. Same thing you need to do there. Dot product is what? A scalar product. Here cross product will be a vector product. So we need to arrive at this conclusion, and what are the formulas used, you should know in that. So first thing, A cross B is defined as what all of you know. It's magnitude A, magnitude B, sine theta multiplied by a normal unit vector, that is AN cap. So equation 1 will give you the definition of A cross B. So we are defining A cross B is defined as magnitude A, magnitude B into sine theta multiplied by a normal unit vector an. If you want the angle from this equation, so you take magnitude on both sides. So if you take magnitude, LHS will be magnitude A cross B, and RHS you put magnitude for each thing, and the last part is unit vector. Magnitude of unit vector is 1, so you'll get sine theta to be what if you cross multiply magnitude A cross B divided by magnitude A into magnitude B. So we arrive at sine theta in this equation 2. So A cross B is defined in equation 1. From that, if you want to calculate sine theta, you need to take magnitude on both the sides, and magnitude of unit vector an is always 1. So you'll arrive at sine theta. Then we need to prove the cross product is a vector product. So in order to prove that, first we have to construct this cross product unit vector in Cartesian form table. So how do we construct here? There you have written dot. Just remove the dot and write cross here. So let us evaluate these table values. First thing, AX cross AX, what it is. So write according to the definition, it is magnitude of first, magnitude of second, and angle between x and x means it is theta is 0, so sine 0. Sine 0 is 0, so since sine 0 is 0, whatever terms you multiply, overall it will result in 0 here. So cross product of unit vectors in the same direction always results in 0. Whether it is AX cross AX, AY cross AY, or AZ cross AZ. All the values, three values will result in 0 because theta is 0, sine 0 is 0. So it will result in 0. Next one, if you consider, for example, here, AY cross AZ. So AY cross AZ is magnitude of first, magnitude of second, and angle between y and z is what? 90 degrees, so sine 90. What about this an in this case? An is, if it is y and z direction, an will be in the third vector, that is x direction. All of you should see she has written wrong in the ax cross ay, az should come. You add that az in the ax cross ay part. So I'll explain AY cross AZ part. You listen this so that you can fill the table by understanding this. So AY cross AZ is magnitude of first, magnitude of second, angle between Y and Z is sine 90, and what will be AN? AN will be, Y and Z will be, if it is AY cross AZ, it will be equal to AX. So we can conclude here is AY cross AZ will always be equal to the third vector, that is AX. Now you can use this circle and fill the values in the table here. For example, AX cross AY is always equal to AZ. In case if you reverse the direction, AY cross AX, that will be equal to minus AZ here. Understood? So in the cross product, the cross product of two vectors will be always equal to third one. Either it will be plus or minus depending on direction. The direction is given in the figure here. You can fill it. So diagonal values is always equal to 0, and the other values will be equal to AX cross AY is AZ. AY cross AX will be equal to minus AZ. Once you calculate this, we consider the LHS part here. LHS A and B you write in Cartesian form. Similarly, you expand all the terms. After expanding, whatever value got in this table, you can substitute that. You'll be resulting in what? 6 terms here. In these 6 terms, you have similar terms, that is AX is common, you can remove, AY common, and AZ common, you can remove. Then after removing common, this whole equation you can write in the determinant form as shown in equation 3. So finally, A cross B, if you calculate the cross product, it results in a vector quantity. Hence, cross product of two vectors is always a vector product we can conclude. So you can use for cross product either equation 1 to evaluate, or you can use the determinant form. So all of you should be clear. A cross B is defined as magnitude A, magnitude B sine theta multiplied by normal unit vector. And in the cross product table of unit vectors, same direction is always 0. Different directions will be equal to the third one. Depending on the direction, plus or minus will be filled. And A cross B is also expressed in determinant form, which is shown in equation 3. Next, coming to the coordinate system here. So in coordinate systems, we have three types. First one is Cartesian or rectangular coordinates. Second one is cylindrical. Third one is spherical. In all these three coordinate system, we are using three mutually perpendicular axes, that is x, y, and z. So all these three will be using. So in all the three, the common is we are using three mutually perpendicular axes x, y, and z. Now you should know how to represent the point P, 3D point on x, y, and z axis. First one we have point P is 2, 3, and 4. How do we mark here? From origin you mark 2, and from origin you mark 3, that is on y axis, and from origin on z axis it is 4. Since all are positive values, from the origin you mark 2, 3, and 4. Then you need to draw parallel lines. First is from y you draw parallel to x axis, and from x you draw parallel to y. Wherever they meet, from there you draw parallel to z, and a perpendicular line you draw, that will give you the point P, which is 2, 3, and 4. Understood? So 2, 3, and 4 is the intersection of all these three. That is, if you draw parallel from the 4, you will get that point P. Same thing if it is negative, instead of marking it on positive axis, you mark on all the negative, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Draw parallel lines and the intersection of x and y. From there, parallel to z and a perpendicular line, that will give you the point, which is minus 2, minus 3, and minus 4. Like this, we can represent the point P in x, y, and z axis. It can have either x, y, z, all the three, or it can have only x, or it can have x and y, which is shown in the figure like this. So now let us solve a simple problem on this vector concept here. They have given two vectors A and B in Cartesian form. You need to evaluate all these 8 parameters for the given vectors A and B. What you need to do is just use the formulas and calculate it. First one, A dot B, you have written the equation for A dot B is what? AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. Where do you get this AX BX from the given problem? AX is 3, BX is 2. So use those values and multiply, you get A dot B is 70. And A cross B, you use the determinant formula and expand the determinant, you'll get A cross B. And then if you want to find angle between the two vectors A and B, you use the cos theta or sin theta formula. Anyone you can use. So use cos theta here and evaluate what is theta value. Theta you need to calculate here, she's not. Cos theta you do, you'll get some numerical. Theta will be cos inverse of that. Next is addition of two vectors. So how do you add the vectors in the same direction? Need to add here. That is 3 plus 2, that is 5ax, 4 minus 1 is plus 3ay, 5 plus 3 is 8az. So like that, you need to add the vectors in the same direction, and subtraction also you should do it in the same direction. So calculate a plus b as well as a minus b. And how do you find ab vector? Ab vector is b minus a vector. B is a minus b vector, just subtract it, you will get. Next is is unit vectors. Unit vector is, for example, if I want to find unit vector for the vector A, it is the vector A divided by magnitude of the A. So write vector A given in Cartesian. Magnitude means it is square root of all the coefficients square under root. Then you divide numerator by denominator, you will get the unit vector A. Same thing you can do for B or any of the vectors. You can calculate unit vector as the vector A divided by magnitude of A. Understood? So this is about the vector concepts you need to study. First thing is what? How do we represent a vector? What are the types of vectors we have? What is physical quantities? Examples for those. Then dot product equations, cross product equation. Dot product is also called what? Scalar product. Cross product is called vector product. And how to find a unit vector for the given vector is the vector divided by magnitude of that vector will give you the unit vector, and a simple problem on that is solved. And we have coordinate system we have studied. There are three types you should know: rectangular or Cartesian coordinate system. Second one, cylindrical. Third one is spherical coordinate. In all these three coordinates, what we use? Three mutually perpendicular axes, that is x, y, and z. Then if they give a point in 3D form, how to represent it on the x, y, and z coordinates, all of you should know. So this is about the first PDF about the vectors concept.